Hey, check it out. Come here. Don't move. Don't move.
Under the law, a crime is not a single act. It is a chain of culpable actions, each link establishing intent, furthering a conspiracy, or satisfying an element of the statute. On Dark Tapes, we approach cases not as isolated moments of violence, but as evidentiary sequences. What you are about to analyze is a case study in criminal liability. We will forensically dissect the sequence of events that transformed a planned robbery into multiple counts of first-degree murder, and how each observable action built an irrefutable case for the prosecution. The analysis is of a case that occurred on January 26, 2024, inside a home on 94th Avenue Northwest in Coon Rapids, Minnesota. A family of 5 became the target of a planned home invasion disguised as a routine delivery. The victims were 42-year-old Shannon Patricia, her 39-year-old husband Mario Alberto, and her 20-year-old son Jorge Alexander Reyes. 2 young children, ages 2 and 4, were inside the home and survived the attack. Investigators later determined that 3 perpetrators that arrived at the residence in a navy blue Nissan Altima were Alonzo Pierre Mingo, Demetrius Trenton Schumpert, and Omari Malik Schumpert. 2 of the men posed as delivery workers to gain entry, while the third acted as support. What began as a robbery escalated into execution-style killings. Stay with this case to the end, because the most important mistake isn't the one you think, and it doesn't appear until much later. The evidentiary record begins here, January 26, 2024. A navy blue Nissan Altima arrives. 3 individuals exit. Legally, this is the overt act in furtherance of a conspiracy. The moment they exited the vehicle with a shared unlawful purpose, the conspiracy was in motion. Their separation into roles, 2 approaching, 1 maintaining the getaway, demonstrates preconception and planning, negating any future claim of spontaneity. Now, observe the instrument of deception that establishes mens rea. These uniforms are not merely disguises. They are tangible evidence of premeditation and intent to deceive. They were chosen to circumvent the homeowner's right to refuse entry, effectively negating genuine consent. In legal terms, this is a key factor in proving the fraudulent entry element of burglary, which underpins the felony murder rule in this jurisdiction. This performative exit is critical. It serves to lull the victim into a false sense of security and actively reduces the homeowner's natural caution. For the prosecution, this scripted behavior powerfully illustrates deliberate manipulation, making it far more difficult for the defense to argue a mere knock on the door. What happens next looks ordinary, almost forgettable, but this is the moment the crime truly begins. The door opens, the older boy steps out. That single step outside transforms a knock into lawful access, completing the first stage of the crime. Entry is gained without immediate force. However, consent obtained by fraud is not valid consent in the eyes of the law. The moment they cross the threshold under this pretext, the felony of burglary is complete. Note the immediate shift from pretext to direct command.
Hey, check it out. Come here. Don't move. Don't move. Move your hand. Move your hand. Open the window. Move like that.
This audio is direct evidence of the exercise of unlawful control. It marks the transition from burglary to false imprisonment or kidnapping, adding sequential layers of criminal liability. The commands demonstrate the assertion of dominion over the occupants and the property. Witness the escalation of the conspiracy. The signal and the approach are overt acts demonstrating ongoing coordination. This defeats any potential defense that this individual was merely an unaware driver. He is actively brought in to consolidate control, showing his continued participation in the joint criminal venture.
All right, where the money? Go get it. Go get it.
It's right here.
Get it. Come on, open it.
Don't move.
Inside, the crime escalates to robbery, the taking of property through force or fear. But the critical legal pivot happens next. The mother had already called 911 and left the line open. While the violence unfolds, the most important witness is not inside the room. It is the open phone line. This 911 call is not a cry for help alone. It is a live record of a crime in progress. Every command, every threat, every shift in tone is captured in real time, preserving intent, sequence, and escalation. In court, this call would become something else entirely, contemporaneous evidence, a timeline that cannot be rehearsed, edited, or denied. The homicides. Under the felony murder rule, the perpetrators are liable for first-degree murder for any death that occurs during the commission of the underlying felonies, here, burglary and robbery. The prosecution does not need to prove premeditation for the killings themselves, only the intent to commit the underlying felony. The execution-style manner, however, provides alternative grounds for premeditated murder, giving the prosecution multiple legal pathways to a first-degree conviction. Post-homicide. Observe the consciousness of guilt. This performative exit is critical. It serves to lull the victim into a false sense of security and actively reduces the homeowner's natural caution. For the prosecution, this scripted behavior powerfully illustrates deliberate manipulation, making it far more difficult for the defense to argue a mere knock on the door. Let's reconstruct how the state built its airtight case. 1. Surveillance footage established the timeline, conspiracy, and overt acts. It provided identifying details of the vehicle and clothing. 2. The 9/11 audio provided a real-time audio log of the robbery, threats, and violence, corroborating the victim's perspective and the defendant's voices. 3. Forensic evidence. The recovered uniform, fingerprints on the box, and DNA placed specific individuals at the scene, connecting the planning to the execution. 4. Cell phone records and data placed all accomplices in the area at the exact time, defeating alibi defenses. 5. Prior employment history. Mingo's known history with UPS established access and knowledge, making the pretext credible and demonstrating sophisticated planning. This case is a masterclass in applied criminal law. It shows how a sequence of actions, meticulously documented, satisfies every element of complex statutes: conspiracy, burglary, robbery, and felony murder. For legal professionals, students, and compliance officers, it underscores a fundamental principle. The law deconstructs chaos into constituent, chargeable parts. Understanding this deconstruction is key to building a prosecution or designing compliance controls that prevent such breaches in a corporate setting. If you found this forensic legal breakdown valuable, subscribe for more analyses that dissect real-world cases through the lens of statutory elements and evidentiary strategy. Share this with colleagues in criminal law, corporate compliance, or risk management. I welcome your professional analysis in the comments below. Because the law operates on evidence, not emotion, and every action leaves a trace. And if you want more carefully analyzed crime stories, this is Dark Tapes.